Okay. Last try. I've tried this bit quite too many times. I'm bored. I was working on my Warhammer army. I was going to do a showcase while I was painting about 30 models called conscripts, and they are the same model over and over and over again, basically, and that got pretty boring. So instead, since Halloween is around the corner, I'm going to work on spooky stuff. I'm going to go into the garage. We're going to use some random shit, and we're going to make something fun. We're going to make some sort of spooky terrain, and it's about having fun. I want to have fun. I'm tired of monotony. It's time to have a spooky Halloween time. Here we go. We're going. Hi, this is the setup. It's funny because I recorded that intro almost 24 hours ago, and I've had a very busy day, 24 hours, and I'm finally home to work on this, something I've been wanting to do for a hot minute now. What I'm doing today is basically just using everything that I've learned throughout the year to make something, and hopefully that something is decent. I don't know if this is gonna come out great or bad. This could be a terrible idea for all I know, but we got an assortment of things and we're gonna try it out, and hopefully you guys enjoy. So yeah, let's start doing stuff. The kind of story behind this, or lore I was imagining, was this skull being built with this tower in mind, like these either settlers or humans or elves or dwarves, what do you ever want to call them, saw this skull and they didn't want to break it apart and move it away. They didn't want to let it go to waste, so they decided to combine it with their tower, watchtower, whatever you want to call it. And I really like the idea of that, and that it was built hastily and it was made to be kind of lopsided too, or maybe that it was built on kind of a swampy land, and so the infrastructure of it is kind of tilting to one side. I really like the idea of that in this build. I think one of the most difficult parts about this build in general was how sturdy the skull was. I was looking everywhere for a hobby saw, and I'm glad I didn't find one, because I would have settled on it thinking that it could make some cuts into the skull, because I underestimated the actual structure of this thing. And it turns out a heavy-duty saw was a good choice. So this video isn't really a tutorial, but I mean, there's not much to talk about in terms of just general chit chat. So I guess I will explain at least some of the materials I'm using today. This is some basic foam board you can get at the dollar store. Very simple, very easy to use. The only issue with the foam board is you're going to find that if you use PVA glue like me, it's going to warp the board. And I think that was my biggest downfall. I should have gotten a hot glue gun, but I actually despise hot glue guns to a certain degree too. It does, though, prevent warpage. So something to keep in mind if you try to recreate something similar. I have a bad habit of cutting myself with the knife because I point the blade toward myself, and so now during this video I'm going to try not to do that, because we all want our hands, you know, we all want our hands. And of course, there's other materials that we're using. Aluminum foil is basic, easy, and intuitive to use. I noticed that sculptors tend to use that to build up the muscles in armatures or even sculpting faces. And so, you know, it was kind of like a no-brainer to go about choosing aluminum to fill up the spaces that we're going to be building upon today. Along with that, we have EVA foam, which I found in the form of floor mats, and all I did was cut it up, switch it over to the other side, and started gluing. I made sure to cut in notches and scratches and dents into the foam, so that way it gave more of a textured appearance in some fashion. So I absolutely loved making this balcony spot out of popsicle sticks and whatnot, but for some reason, I didn't get footage of all of it. I don't know what happened. So here's a shot where it's completed, but you will never get to know how satisfying each one of those popsicle sticks it was like to place. You just gotta trust me that I did it and that it's finished. Right here we're getting some like cardboard paste making paper mache stuff ready. You can find that on billymakestuff. Check out his channel. It's a great recipe, and I'm not going to list it here because you should check it out. It's great. It's perfect. It helps the environment, and it's awesome. Yeah. The other thing that's really lovely about this cardboard paste is it should only take about 24 hours to dry and to harden, and it should look like some good old-fashioned textury dirt to mud, or at least I thought it would take 24 hours. I think that's gonna work. Okay. I don't know why this thing's throwing a fit now, but we're doing it. Hello. Hello. Hi. Hello. This is hard for me because this mic picks up a lot. And I'm like worried about the recording, but we'll figure it out. How are you doing? It's been about a week since I have worked on this project, and my momentum has slowed down exponentially. It may not seem like it. I'm putting on a front, but I am very bored and tired, and I want to do more to this terrain piece, but I'm having a little bit of artist block, but I know the only way to conquer artist block is just to do things. So I did not expect this to be taken a week. I thought it was going to be done in a weekend. But life happens, I think that's the biggest quote of my year. But life happens. And so we're still going, though. I think that's all that matters. And if you're stuck on a project, just do it. I didn't realize that the thing that was needed for this project was just to finally put some paint on the skull, just to finally start building color and bringing it to life. The overall painting goal is pretty obvious. I wanted to make it look like it was aged and stuck in the mud. So I went about trying out some streaking grimes and a homemade wash that I'll never be able to recreate again because it's made of some sort of rust pigment, some brown paint, some black paint, some water, and a couple of other things that I just mixed all together, and it works. It gives this great muddy, reddish kind of wash. And so once it's gone, and it's going to be really heartbreaking once I run out of it. So I finally came to a point in this build where I realized it was missing something, truly, and that was a way to get onto the tower. I didn't build a door, and nor was I going to build a door by cutting into the side of this cobblestone tower. So I decided, let's make a ladder. That should be pretty fun. So one of the things that I need to forewarn all terrain builders out there is that tiny details make things pop and make them look awesome. Things like the itty bitty bits of ladders and the rope you'll see me like putting together on this thing is just brings it like to life. But the other thing you need to know is that once you start that journey and once you start putting glue on it, you can't stop. And it took a really long time to do this, and it bums me out that like with the power of editing, you guys probably won't know how long it took, but it felt like an eternity for me. Just a forewarning for anyone who wants to do tiny details. I've done like tiny tiling, that's another annoying one, but this one kind of takes the cake, just kind of does it for me. So for making this build a little more realistic, I decided to add some twine. The only issue was it was really fuzzy, and even though I used super glue to hold it down in place, it just didn't seem to fix the poofiness. So I decided to take a lighter to it. And I know I shouldn't be lighting chemicals on fire, but I already did it. This build is already done, and you know what? It worked fairly well. It gave it kind of a dirty, scorched look that I really enjoyed on the rope itself. Putting on that flock in the video was the last little bit that finally started making this piece come to life. I made that flock in the background of this video type of recording. I actually got recording of it, but I didn't put it in this final version of the upload because we just didn't have enough time. I didn't want to go past 20 minutes and, you know, make it even longer than it should be. But it was great to kind of bring like some vegetation that like I made onto the piece, and I felt like it really tied it all together. For anyone who's curious, the wash that we used for the wood is something that anyone else can get or use, and it's called Agrax Earthshade. It's my go-to wash for kind of wood aging. There it is. It's done. It's done. I'm so glad it's done. Like, this whole journey was a minute. I thought I'd have it done in a week, but it took nearly 3. But yet, it's here. It's done. It's complete. And I couldn't be more happy. Just seeing it go from garbage to glory. Hopefully it motivates you to make something amazing out of trash. I promise that I didn't mean to wear this to match this, but that's where we are. Yeah, we're done. We're done with the build. I am actually very ecstatic about this build and the way it came out. I didn't expect it to like turn out so well and go so smooth. There were a couple of little, you know, things along the way, mostly the twine and whatnot, and then of course this, you know, it warped a little bit on during the making of it with the PVA glue. But for the most part, I like this build a lot. It's been super awesome, and it's definitely given me a wonderful refresher and break during the monotony that can be tabletop gaming painting. And hopefully it inspires you guys to make something you enjoy too. Something that brings you joy. And like legit, this just made my freaking month. Like, I might use it just as a Halloween decoration in the living room. I don't know where I'm going to put this, but I'm very proud of it. And I can't wait to play some games on it. Maybe finally play some Age of Sigmar. And maybe use this as a bit of terrain. Maybe I'll make some more mountains. But yeah, who knows? Thank you so much for watching. If you liked, hit that like button, you know, share with your friends, the usual. Hopefully this gives you guys some ideas and kind of shows that like what a year's worth of just video watching and taking notes and doing things will kind of get you. I believe that progression is always forward, and as long as you're practicing and as long as you're doing what you like, you can make some pretty cool stuff. I don't know. Hopefully this was inspiring. Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this comes out on Halloween. We'll find out, and I will see you in the next video. See ya.